Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do something stupid today. We have been waiting for the Android 14 update for the OnePlus Open for quite a while now. It was in beta in India. It is officially released in India, and other regions are also beginning to get it. But we are still waiting here in these United States. Now, there is a thing you can do, and I looked into this a couple of weeks ago, but I hadn't seen anyone give reports of it being successful, so I didn't talk about it. I didn't go any further. Friend of mine, Ike's Tech Talk, a YouTube channel you should absolutely be subscribed to, reached out and said, have you seen this post on Reddit? And actually had popped up in I have a thing called Feedly that gives me like recent posts in these Reddits and other news sources and so forth. This individual, Felix_93, did the thing I'm talking about, and they're saying that it worked. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to trick your OnePlus Open into thinking it is in India, and then it will download the Android 14 update. Now, I want to make it very clear before we get started on this. You are taking your device into your own hands with this. If something goes wrong, something bad happens, I am not responsible for that. You are choosing to do this, so do it at your own risk. I also want to make it clear that I'm not entirely sure what happens next when new updates come out, what's going to happen there. You are doing this at your own discretion. So the first thing you need to do is click on this link that they provided. I'll put it in the description. In fact, I'll put a link to this thread in the description as well, so you can go give it an upvote and then potentially read more comments as they roll in. And this is simply a link to a OnePlus system updater. It's basically going to update the updater on your device, which is going to give it the ability to do a local installation. So you're going to be downloading the update and then installing it locally, not pulling it directly from the servers, if that makes any sense. So get this APK downloaded and put it on your phone. The first thing you're going to do is go to the Google Play Store and install Oxygen Updater. Let's go ahead and open up that. This is going to look a little bit different for you. Let's click on Settings. Let's come down here and turn on Advanced Mode. Scroll back up, and under Device, we're going to change this to OnePlus Open India and change the update method to Stable Full. Back up here, you will now see that there is an update available, which we can go ahead and download. Please enable all files. Okay, so we're going to come here to Oxygen Updater, and we're going to toggle that. And let's go back a couple of times, and let's reinitiate that download. All right, so we have just finished downloading. It is now going through the verification process. The download, obviously, is going to take as long as it's going to take based on the speed of your internet. All right, at that point, we can go grab that APK that we downloaded earlier and let that go ahead and install. I'll show you what that is generally going to look like. You may have a thing pop up to ask you if you want to allow this application. In my instance, I'm using CX File Explorer. Allow it to install an APK, toggle it, and let it do its thing. Let's open up. And now you should have a little gear in the top right-hand corner, and there is the option for local upgrade, and that is the file we just now installed. And we're going to say install now, and it will go through this process. All right, so this has taken a decent amount of time. I didn't actually clock it, but you can see the time up there in the corner, so you can see exactly how long it took. We are at 99%. Now we have a reboot button, so we're going to go ahead and click on that, and this device, I'm hoping, is about to reboot, and when it comes back, I'm going to be running Android 14 with all of my files and applications exactly as I left them. All right, and there we are. We have finished rebooting, and all of my files are still in place. My widgets are just beginning to pop back up. Let's jump into these settings and go to About Device. This is already different because the update version, the update thing is not there, but we can see here we are on Android 14. So we're going to jump into the Photos app because I think some of the new things are going to be there. Cut out part of a photo has popped up. So let's try and find a photo that we think will work well. How does this work? On Samsung, you just sort of long press it. Oh, for some reason it didn't work the first time, but I did it again, and boom, there you go. We actually have popped it out just fine, and we're going to, let's just save that. So that should save it as its own image. This is such a useful thing that I'm glad is here in most applications, like that did a pretty good job, right? That's pretty cool. There's also supposed to be text extraction. So let's see, it says with one tap, copy, save, share. Looks like that just did the pop out. But I do like, by the way, that the pop out thing, cool animation, but also that it has a copy button there. How do we pop out? Is it just this lens thing? Is that new? That might be what it is. It might be sort of powered with Google Lens. That's good. Actually, I just noticed there's a little search button down here. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. There's a little search button down there. Let's jump into these settings. Do widgets look any different? No, they do not. They have still not added a search to the widgets, which is a little bit annoying. Under wallpapers, I believe that's different. That used to be in a little three dot thing up there in the corner, but I think I believe that's new. Something else I want to check out. Let's go to done here and let's try and change this edit. Yes, there it is. So there was a bug where you would go to change the icon and okay, correct me if I'm wrong, did they categorize them before? I don't remember. But the bug was that if you kept scrolling long enough, it would just glitch out and it would stop loading new icons. And that bug is still present. So that's a bummer. So one thing that my buddy Ike actually just told me is that apparently with this method using the Indian ROM, the double click to launch the camera app is no longer functional. It's actually like a law over there, I guess. It's a thing, so you're gonna have to find a workaround for that. He said he's gonna try to use MacroDroid to kind of do their own fix for that. That is a little bit of a bummer for sure. Apparently there is a new always on display thing that's supposed to be talking about like carbon footprint or something. There it is, carbon footprints. What does this do? So I guess it's supposed to show like how much walking you're doing, and by virtue of that, it's going to give you like a little carbon footprint thing. I'm not really sure who this is for. So something else that I don't think was here by default, they've added to the end here because I think I only had one page, was link to Windows. I think that is now a system application. So I've got Phone Link set up here, and basically what this does is it allows you to access your phone from your computer. So you can actually clear your notifications and obviously see your notifications as well from your text messages, calls, and actually your applications are going to show up here as well. What you can do with this is actually really cool. People are going to dig this. So if I launch an application, I'm going to stream this from my phone to the computer, and you can go one step further. You can obviously pick app by app, but you can also just fire up your phone screen in general, which is something that I've used in the past quite a bit. Ooh, controls down here at the bottom as well. This appears to be pretty darn well integrated. Now, this is the change log on the community page for OnePlus. This is obviously for the Indian release, India only, but it would apply to this. Now, there's several things that I don't really know what they mean, right? So, Aqua Dynamics. I'm going to kind of leave this up on the screen, and you guys can take a look at it. And if you have any ideas about what some of these that I didn't cover might be, you can drop a comment down below. So I went back into Oxygen Updater, and I changed this back to Open NA, and then I went to Stable Full again, and now it is showing the old version. You see that is Android 13, and it is from January the 26th. Now, out of curiosity, and for the sake of the data, I'm going to see what will happen if I actually attempt to install this. So we're going to go back to this system update application, and we're going to look and see here 6.61 gigabytes, 6.5. I'm assuming it's the top one. That's actually wrong. I went back and I checked the tape, and the one we installed, this is the new one. This is the one we're going to revert with. And what we're getting told here is it is lower than the current system, so downgrading is not allowed. That's going to kind of inform what we're doing going forward. We are stuck here for the time being. So what you would have to wait for is a version to come out in North America that is a newer version than this Indian version, and then you would, in theory, be allowed to get off. I guess I should also make it clear that there's a chance there are some differences between what I just installed and what OnePlus will roll out for North America. It's entirely possible. I can't say for sure, but this is at least some of what you can expect. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So there you go, guys. How to install Android 14 right now, as well as our first look at what Android 14 is like. Not a lot of huge changes, probably a lot of under the hood things. They talk about smoother animations and things like that, but definitely a handful of new features to be added as well. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content just like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.